Okay, so I went through the CBA and I was just mainly looking for like the really main things that you need to do well on this CBA. Things that like you really have to know to be able to get a passing grade. So if you want to, you can just write out these notes. You'll come and show me that you wrote them all, and I'm just going to check your name off my list. So you can get some bonus points, okay? And it can kind of give you like a good guide on what to study. So make sure that you do go ahead and put your title as CBA 2 and write your name up here. Okay, so the first questions on the test are about slope. So you want to understand that to get slope, you are getting the rise over the run number. And don't forget that M is going to be your variable that stands for slope. Another thing that you want to know before taking your CBA is know how to enter data from a table to get the slope and the y-intercept. We practice this a lot. So here's the buttons you would push: Stat, Edit. Now remember in list 1 we put the X values. In list 2 we put the Y values. After you had the data, the X's and the Y's put in the list, you hit Stat again. We went over to Calc to tell it to calculate. And then you hit the number 4, and then you had to hit Enter several times, and it would write the equation. So there are some test questions that show you a table of data, and they're going to ask you which equation goes with that table of data. So make sure you know those buttons. Before you take the test, you want to understand these two equations, y equals kx and y equals mx plus b. You want to really understand them well. That first one is proportional, and that second one is non-proportional. Another thing that you need to know is how to graph them, like where to begin graphing and where to go from there. So the y-intercept tells you where the graph begins on the y-axis, and the number in front of your x, or that coefficient, in the place of m, will tell you how much to rise and run. Remember that proportional is linear, and it goes through the origin. This one over here is linear, but it does not go through the origin. Okay? Another thing that you need to know before your CBA, know that direct variation means proportional. Sometimes it will ask which graph shows direct variation, or it may say which graph varies directly. Same thing. It's just going to be proportional. Y equals kx. It's going through the origin. It's going to be a straight line. Okay, one more thing here on the front. And we do have a backside for this bonus. Be able to tell if a table, graph, mapping, or a set of ordered pairs is a function. So you need to go back and review those notes about how to tell, is it a function or a not function. So remember the day before Thanksgiving break, we played that relay race down in the commons where y'all were running towards us. You'd grab a problem out of the bucket. You'd have to look at it real fast and be able to tell function or not function. So go back and review that part of your notes.